Hello guys, I'm Shopper came back here to get shot out of the video. Hajime Pro top 10 fights throughout the entire series. I commented recommend this. And I gotta give it to him, the legend. I think it's Grand Wizard something. I put the image of the comment here. But yeah, he gave me this idea. I was like, hey, out of everything I've covered with Ippo, with good audio or bad, good music or not, perfect sound quality or wrong, I have never did my top 10 favorite fights throughout the entire series. I have never done it. I've covered plot line, storyline, improvements, brand new punches, how people are going to evolve, the future of certain characters, or what if fights, predictions left and right, but I've never done my favorite fights throughout the series. After all this time, 2 years or so, over 400 videos later, 1/4 of that is re-uploaded back. Here's it is. But let's start off the bat with the honorable mentions. Number 4, coming in number 4 honorable mention, Ippo Makaduche versus the Magician. Yes, versus Malcolm. I love this fight. I don't know what's wrong with me. I love this fight. I love the whole gimmick behind, like he's throwing fixed fights and he throw fights for their money, for that Filipino daughter, for the money. Even Korigama beating up, yeah, I think he beat up some dude because, like, really, you over here throwing fixed fights? Are you serious? And just a whole backstory to Malcolm the Magician, and how he don't fear no man in the ring because down in the Philippines he's been shot, and then for later on for Ippo to hit Malcolm so hard into his chest, he had PTSD flashbacks about he got hit. Back to him getting shot. He was woo boy. With the fight of the centuries, that or Korigama dumping the entire bucket full of ice in Ippo pants. Or the magical. That one could be wrong. Or the magical. All right, I froze my hand, Ippo. I'm gonna put down the I'm gonna put down the swelling with my bare hands. The pants one I could be wrong, but the swelling thing, boy, that was hilarious. Or the magical case. All right, you got like what? Oh, the magical. Well, the range punch. You got a range punch. Or you gotta stiffen up your neck, take the punches, stiffen up your neck. It was amazing fight. But honorable mention number 3, Ippo versus Samurai. Yes, this is one of my personal favorite fights. The Honor Warrior Dragon, Samamura Ruhei, the only other person who counter ability surpasses Miyata, a man who will punch you before you even able to throw the punch, Samamura Ruhei, and the whole build up between the Dempsey. All these guys saw your last fight with not with Sonata, with I think it was Hammer now, somebody. They all saw your fights, and they're not too impressed. They all believe that they can destroy the simple Dempsey. Sambuco believed he could destroy the Dempsey. He was able to punch you out of it, and now another one, Samamura Ruhei, has stepped up before you to challenge you for your crown. It was actually to build up the height. Samamura being betrayed by the teacher who, by his teacher from his things like middle school or high school. Samamura being framed, or even the Sendo guy, Sendo and Samamura first meeting. It was someone's backstory to the Samamura Ruhei and how he felt betrayed, isolated by the world. And not sure. I can't defend everything about the man. All right, he is still an animal. All right, he's a savage. He is what he is, but he was getting better. Well, actually, we'll get to that later. But yeah, just the bullet punches, see the bullet punches, or the hype up a time. Like Samamura had to use his right hand, yet Ippo goes in, blam, the flash. Ippo, he's tap dance. Oh my goodness, the punching power of Samamura Ruhei. And then it's the anti-Dempsey counter that they will build up upon with Vorg. It was just Vorg is able to land it, and Samamura landed like excellently. And then Ippo, there's something he did earlier, on which I love how over time they kept building onto the Dempsey. The Dempsey was just not enough. The Dempsey is not a one-all be-all solution. It's an anti-Dempsey or the anti-Dempsey the Dempsey feint, or just there was always something extra to the Dempsey where it's never just the Dempsey solves it all, or that the Dempsey combination, or just it was always something more. And this fight helped further that with the whole, hey, the Dempsey is no longer slowed down by counters. It is just fantastic. Which rolls on to the next one, number 2. of the honorable mentions, the Death God of Tokyo, Ryo Mishima versus the Oniragan Dragon Devil and some more Ruhei. This is one of the most ruthless, barbaric, savage, animalistic fights that we've ever seen. It started off with humble beginnings. It seems like Salamura changed. Even though Mishima was bloodthirsty for what Salamura did for his sister, Salamura was who he saw beyond that. He wanted to obtain the same thing Ippo Makanuchi attained. He wanted to see those great heights. He wanted to become better. Just like the sights he's able to see when he's working his construction job. That is what he wanted. But sadly, after round 1 and 2, he got bored. And he fell back into his bad habits. And then the illegal blows. And Misha was like, bitch, please, wait, what? No, look, if you want to do this, we can do this. And the savagery never stopped. Headbutts, elbows, tripping people up, kneeing people in the head. Don't you dare look down on me. It's a fight that kept on delivering the savagery. Even towards the end, I was like, someone more, you got a chance. He made you believe he had a chance with that barely counter. He made you believe. But sadly, we had a much conclusion to the fight. I still enjoy it, but it's just, we don't have a definitive answer who would have won if Mishima just would have waited a little bit longer before he attacked Salamura. Just a little bit longer. Who knows? But for number 1 honorable mention, we have Brian Hawk versus the Great Takamura. Surprisingly, how come this fight didn't make it to your top 10? Oh, it's a great, fantastic fight. I'm not hearing it, alright? As much as I love Brian Hawk, as much as I love the Great Takamura, and sure, this is one of those fights that's animated, so of course everybody say it's one of the best fights of all time. But you look at it, I don't feel like Takamura and Brian Hawk was never too far away from each other. There was no real... I put it like this, right? The fight starts off, they're filling each other out. Brian Hawk can lean all the way back. Takamura can just step in twice, double jab, blam, got him. They're going back and forth, and then Takamura starts to rev up the engines. He pushed it further. Can Brian Hawk catch up? And then Miguel's like, what if Brian Hawk was faster? Then the speed hell combinations and leashes going back and forth. And I was more or less even until, of course... And then Takamura started to win, and then of course, just like with Randy Boy Jr. and Miyata, Takamura gas tank started to give out, and because of the weight management, and Brian Hawk started to dominate, nearly putting the Great Takamura to sleep until he remembered what Brian Hawk had the audacity to do to the coach. The #1 surrogate son of Korigama refused to sit there and let his coach get backhanded, and vengeance shall not follow, and refused to not allow vengeance fall upon the man who dare lay thy finger on thy coach. And he unleashed one of the most vicious, barbaric combinations of rage, one of the best rage scenes ever drawn on paper and put to anime screens. It was fantastic. It was great. Just for the overall, that number 10 gonna make y'all mad. It just felt that overall, I think it's a solid fight, but I don't think it's top 10. Even though I love the build up the build up, oh boy, is this, I don't know. Let's just go to another thing. With this list, it's not just the fights themselves. It's the fight, the build up, the atmosphere, the going back and forth. It's magnifico. But yeah, those are the honorable mentions. Some people be pretty mad for that Brian Hawk one. I don't hate it, I don't despise it, but it's just compared to the other Takamura fights or just other fights in general, it's just I love the fight. I'll always love it, but it's just not top 10. So let's get on to the main course, the main meal. Number 10, this is gonna make y'all mad. The second fight between Ippo and Miyata. How dare thee! This fight beat out Brian Hawk, which is the Great Takamura. Yes. What else you want me to say? Hey, I love the fight. All right. I personally love the fight, not just the backstory, not because it started off the whole entire rivalry. It's just the fight itself. How does they both of them are going tooth and nail. The three knockdown rule. It's just like somebody got to win. They're going back and forth, and it's just that, especially since they both early on their careers, while not everything's refined. Well, Miyata's more refined because he's been in the gym for like some years. But Ippo just going in there, it's just toughing out with the Operation Turn. He's going in there. He's putting in punches. He's putting in the work. And Miyata just also matching him. And then when Ippo misses that uppercut and Miyata hits him with that counter, it was magnificent. It was greatness. It was fantastic. Ugh, everything you could ask for. But I can see why people wouldn't say that. I see why people could be upset. But that's too damn bad, Billy. That's too bad. It was just, I don't know. That, and it just, isolate the fight by itself. Take it away. Sure, Brian Takamura got better animations. It got better visuals. The weight of the fight is a lot more. This is a great Takamura challenging for a world title match. But this fight here, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. It's just different. It's just different. Especially with the great Takamura being the coach. And then that ending. Damn it, come on, get up already. Miyata failed to seal the deal. I don't know, man. It's something. I don't think this is anybody's top fights, but it was special to me. It rolls into number 9. Ryo Mishima versus Shinobu Agat. There's multiple reasons why I love this fight, besides just the Mishima angle. Because Shinobu over the last past few arcs have been built up as some type of monster, as some type of ultimate villain. First, he called Aoki's girlfriend an ugly pig, then proceeded to beat Aoki like a piñata. He beat these other guys. He became what was it? He became champion. You think he's the real deal? He got the bangs in front of his head. He's working for Baron. Somebody Takamura used to turn into a punching bag. He had every single advantage. And just to see Mishima conquer every one of his boxing style weaknesses, conquer every single, well, besides from one, every single weakness, the rapid head movement of an infighter. He's been killing infighters over and over again. Shinobu denied uppercut, sending his chin straight to the moon. Tell me, did you feel that, bitch? Did you feel it? Did you feel it in the chin? And then to see this man groggy, struggling to get up, and then there's another one. The Dragonfish Blow Boy. When I saw the teaser of the Dragonfish Blow and the PTSD Mishima kicked in, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. He felt it in his bones that something was coming, but he didn't know what. And then, to make it the cream of the crop, Shinobu to go down as to use the elbows, headbutts, and everything else. Umoma pushing Ryo Mishima to the limit. Is he going to go over the edge? Is he going to get another disqualification? Is he going to throw it all away? No. With the with his Hell Paradise cheering squad, he realizes, I'm a boxer. I'm gonna outbox this man, and this man was never on my level. He's garbage. Get him out of here. Flicker, flinch, blank, beat him into the corner. Stop the fight. Someone throwing the towel. He's getting killed out there. It's over. Seeing Mishima conquering his demons is one of the best fights in the entire series. Not sure. Miyata wasn't there. And I've been harking about, hey, you just need to go against another counter puncher. It'd be magnificent. I don't think Marcus Rosario would be that, but who knows? Who knows? But who knows? We rarely see like Mishima actually go against an actual outboxer, and the outboxer Kimura chose to fight like an infighter. So it's just, besides from that, the fight itself, especially when it's coming out, even now, looking back on the fight, it's such a great Mishima fight altogether. Sure, was it the most difficult thing for Mishima? No, it was quite easy. He dispatched the peekaboo like he was a joke, which should be expected. He dispatched the Dragonfish Blow like, come on, Billy, get the trash out of here. Get it out of here. Sure. Never can deny that. Never. But just like I said, it's the weight. I don't know. I love Mishima as a character. Who knows? Maybe it's just me. But all that combination against Shinobu, the man who's building up as the baddest man on the planet. Like the ego in this man. Like Shinobu got a pretty big ego. As he knocked out opponent after opponent, he got the bangs. He's pretty bored fresh. And Takamura says you're gonna get your ass whooped after what you done. And Mishima finally delivered the ass whooping Shinobi was getting. he did it! But yeah, from another nice spot, it has to be the Mishima versus a God fight. Fantastic! And then we go on to number 8. Itagaki versus Seiki. The Speed King. The Speedster. The fastest man on the planet. This fight here gave us an element of boxing and Ippo that we've never seen in any other fight. Now sure, we got a teaser of it with Kurosawa. We got a teaser of it. A teaser of it like no other. But, and against the Seiki Takuma, we got everything we was waiting for. A true battle of the speedster. Who is the fastest man alive? Itagaki Manabu versus versus Seiki. It was amazing. It's just like seeing them blast past the referee at top gear speeds like no one's ever seen before. And then see Itagaki thinking, I'm gonna kick it up to the 5th gear, to the 6th gear, to the 7th gear, to 4th gear. And Seiki's like, did you truly believe that you was the only one that existed in this world? The back and forth, the counters, Itagaki losing the eye, like they both going all out, back and forth against each other. It was magnificent. And then to see that the new age supercard take out the old faithful, seeing Seiki legs fail on him as he gets so far in the fight. And what makes a difference? Unlike every other Ippo fight where, you know, it seems like, oh, there's always a handicap with some other fights where there's a handicap or there's something to hold him back. In this case, with Seiki versus Itagaki, it never felt like when Seiki legs were given out and he couldn't keep up with Itagaki at full gear anymore, especially when he pulled out the Itagaki shuffle, this brand new mutation of feints, and Takamura's like, of course I can do it. Takamura can do anything. It's just, also, keep that for a side note. But I just, but it was this, unlike other fights, I didn't feel like Seiki's leg shutting down. It feels like, well, you know, it's a plot device. It felt like this is as far as Seiki could go. It's sad to see it happen. He's a veteran, sure. Well, he got beaten up by everybody. He got beaten up by Sendo. He got beaten up by Ippo. The most, I don't know, it's one of those veteran things. Because for not saying logic, you should also hate Aoki or Kimura because they've lost and gotten draws. And their careers mostly not much of anything. But just seeing a veteran like Seiki finally be able to prove and to show what he can truly do in the ring, going full gear, the counters, moving back and forth, the elite head movement. It's one of those rare fights that unless we focus on a character like Itagaki or Miyata, we're not gonna get an outboxer versus outboxer. Speed starts up a fight like this, and it was a gem. It was amazing to see this. It was fantastic. See it go down. Really was. And then it followed up with Yoki and Kimura get beaten up, but hey, we're never gonna let that deny the fact that 2 speed stars in a row and faster than Ippo did it, Itagaki got the job done. And this is the fight that crowned him the title of Kronos. Boy, he had to be gassed at the who be giving these guys these names? The lightning god, the wind god, the lightning god. What else? I'll call Takamura the Great Takamura. But who be giving these characters these nicknames? Is this, who knows? Who knows? But I roll them to number 7. We have to take this one back all the way back to 1945, the good old days. Post World War II Japan, people are struggling, hurting, and after a forceful surrender due to a certain event. Post-war Japan isn't as fun as it used to be. But then again, even with that, with people wheels are down, and Kurogama and Okada struggling to put food on the table, they're still living life as best they can until the menace of all menaces reveals himself. Until one of the most savage, unruly animals shows himself. Until Ralph Anderson attempts a sexual assault with a woman, and then it creates a destined fight between 2 Japanese versus the Ralph Anderson. And it was, and in this particular fight, some might say, which fight is number 7? It's quite simple. Gen Kurogama versus Ralph Anderson. The story, the build-up, and the fight themselves, it's just, Seeing Nakota already suffering from brain damage from Koagama still go out there and fight his heart out, and he was winning. He was on top of the world. And then Mr. Ralph Anderson decided to throw away his boxing pride and to hit him with a rabbit punch. And a easy 15-piece family bucket meal and put Nakota into a nice temporary coma. This sent Koagama off the deep end. I don't think we've ever seen a man with so much rage in any type of series, such a desire, such a one-track mind frame, just like his future student Ippo Makinuchi, to destroy somebody. We've seen it what happened with Mishiba. We've seen it happen when he was trying to improve the Dempsey role, or when he was got sent away from the gym with you can't say in one way or another Koagama's one-to-one sound like Takamura may be the surrogate son, but to one-to-one, if Koagama was to be reincarnated, that's Ippo Makinuchi. They do the exact same thing. And the pressure, on the rage, and the panic, they start to push their training to the maximum and to the extreme. Even to the point where Ippo was beating them wooden logs to the into the side of the mountains. But in this case, Koagama did it first. He didn't use a sledgehammer or a small hammer. He chose to beat the logs into the heel with his own bare hands. And then the fights happen. And Koagama's getting beaten up like a piñata. I gotta attack the body. I have to attack the body. But he can't get close to the body. He's being outboxed and danced around by Ralph Anderson. It's just too much. It's about time that Ralph started to pull out his actual boxing IQ and actually outbox this cheap prize fighter who knows nothing about the sport. And then, through tenacity and through a smacker spirit from Nakota, Koagama goes in one more time for the perfect timing. Fuck it. We're gonna do a classic stable of the Sendo or any other character. We're gonna go for a dual exchange. Take the right Koagama. The first time, blam, he fails. He's still standing up. No, he's still on his feet. No way. And he goes for it again. The 1-2 straight right down the pipe. Can Koagama withstand the punching power of the Ralph Anderson? Can he do it? He hits him and connects clean. But also, Koagama lands, caving in his insides. Oh my goodness, oh my lord. What is in this man's hands? But sadly, the punch to the liver to Ralph Anderson came at a heavy price, destroying his own head in the process. It turns out punching them logs took a heavy toll. But it was worth it. He got one more punch in the chamber. He got one more good hand. And Miguel's in the background. Hey, I got Captain, put up your guard. He's gonna go straight for the chin. But then, wait a minute. Where's the punch? He isn't there. Below, another body blow. This is for everybody. Blame. It was a fantastic fight. With how much IQ in the fight? No. You can sum it up as a man getting one-sidedly beating until he takes advantage of a weak point. Sure. But I love the fight. The story told behind it. The Ralph Anderson is an excellent combination of everything. The fights are amazing, including the animation. Whether you read the manga or watch it from season 3 of Ippo, it's an amazing fight indeed. So that's why Ralph Anderson versus Koagama again takes the 7th place. Oh, I'm sweating like a madman. And then we got number 6. Ironically, it was a hard choice between this fight and Jose Nargo. Alright, I like the Jose Nargo because these are my knuckles, and a man with a broken spirit can't hurt me. But sadly, this fight takes precedence over this one, because not only because of the IQ, the technique, and the most important lesson: you never dual exchange with Takeshi Sendo. You already know what it is. Alfredo Gonzalez versus Takeshi Sendo in Mexico. It was fantastic. A lot of people got upset at the fight, which I only believe they got upset because Alfredo Gonzalez lost. When he literally tells you how he lost in the damn manga, he would have just kept outboxing, could have got an easy decision. He chose to fight Sendo on the same playing field. And what happened? You learned an important lesson. No, besides from the great Takamura, there is nobody on this earth that can duel exchange with a Sendo, not a Ricardo Martinez, but that's off something. Even at the beginning, what the utmost disrespect, and like it's in those coats, like you're not scared, I'm freaking stoked. And then Gonzalez comes in there with the skull in the background, with the poncho, with the sombrero. But this, for months this fight was getting built up. Sendo went all the way to Mexico to hunt down this man, but instead of finding a Mexican death god, he found the Mexican sun god, and after drumming the sun, after causing the sun god to meet his dawn, Alfredo Gonzalez could not accept it. He couldn't believe it. It couldn't be true. Impossible. No. The fight with the stage was set for one of the best. Like, the fight got so gruesome of Sendo beat up, that Hoshi, Sendo's own disciple, said, hey, coach, do you think he got any chance to win? And he's like, yeah, if we pray. What if we pray? Are you telling me that there's no backup plan? There's no plan B or C. The only hope is for Sendo to improve and pray mid-fight. Oh, I can't believe it. No way. And then they both start to have fun. They both clash foreheads. And then, like I keep trying to mention, you never dual exchange with Sendo. And after a few punches, Gonzalez started to have a like crisis. Wait a minute. What the hell is this I'm feeling? He's just a man. But this, with the weight behind his punches, the aura, it don't feel right. And then he connects clean with the forehead, breaks his hand. But like good old Sendo, there's no such thing as a broken bone that can stop him. He's unstoppable. I don't know, overall it's an amazing fight, not just for the moments, not just for the boxing IQ, how Sendo's even just using him slightly stepping in faster to get past from Gonzalez's jab. It was amazing. And then the follow-up after the dual exchange. Sendo looks around. Where you at? Where you going? There you are. Just sit tight. It is the counter of all counters. It was just like with Ippo Mokiniuchi. Sendo could put straight to sleep. It's the main cannon versus the main cannon. Gonzalez on the ropes. Sendo goes in full-fledged. And he gets in close. Blam! He gets hit to the counter. It seems like all hope is lost. But then I can't even focus. And then, against all odds, Sendo throws up the heaven of all smashes and blows Gonzalez's scalp all the way back. Oh, he's tap dancing. Sendo's walking away. The fight's over. The fight's over. Throw on the towel. The fight's over. Sendo managed to beat this man that took out Ippo Mokiniuchi into retirement. It was just too much. From having no chance of winning to Sendo just like a slash hitting, like throwing a punch to set up his nuts punch, or back when Sendo was in the corner. We haven't seen this since Ippo. Sendo threw a smash and lift Gonzalez all the way off the ground. He's an animal. He's an animal. I just had to see two of my favorite characters of all of the series slug it out in one of the best fights ever put on the screen. It was magnificent. It was. What else could you ask for? What else could you want, Lisa? It delivered everything. It was just fantastic. So that's why Sendo versus Alfredo Death God Gonzalez is number 2. This fight here is different. It's different. It's the atmosphere. It's the artwork. It's the backstory of arcs upon arcs accumulating to this. The people didn't believe, but Sendo accomplished what Ippo could not, and that was win the damn fight. Damn it. Perfect time. Which goes to another. I'm not gonna go on the Sendo thing, but it's just boy, that Sendo's a different breed. So that's number 6. Number 5. Now this fight is special. It is very special. It took Ake and Amai, after all the build up, after the first bet, when they finally fought each other during the rookie team tournament, It was just, ugh, it was just, it was the hype was there. The parallels between Ippo and Miyata with both Itagaki and Miyata is both based off of they're both based off of Sugar Ray Leonard, but just different elements. Itagaki goes into the speed, and Miyata goes into the counters and the outbox and then in the jab. But there are some similarities. But with Amai with the liver blow at that time, one of Ippo's greatest weapons, it was just. But sadly, it's not the first fight I'm talking about. It is Itagaki versus Amai 2. Where Itagaki got his name Kronos, where Amai have one of the best entries of all time, where his body is force of pure steel. One of the best entries. But the reason why I love this fight is the amount of game plan and dedication Amai had to the DM and to the mission. Unlike Itagaki, who's been living high, taking out Sayeki and Kozawa, some other top tier Japanese contenders, Amai has been focusing on taking back the loss that Itagaki gave him. He couldn't let it go. He spent hours, days, weeks training, doing the exact same thing in the corner. And seeing him execute one of the most relentless, cold-blooded plans known to man to force Itagaki through all means, even with a headbutt to this man's sternum into the corner, and to viciously pound his body over and over again to take away his legs. And one of the saddest part about the fight is not just my introspection that sells this fight. It's also Itagaki's. Itagaki's like, sure, he's in his corner, he's going for body blow, he's blocking, he's working the ropes, he's working the ropes like he's working the ropes, he's partying in the corner. But one of the saddest parts of this fight, with Itagaki trying to counter Amai, he think he have his numbers written. I can see every fiber of your entire body, like I can catch him. But sadly, the body blows and the inside combination, the uppercuts, the dual exchanges, took his toll on Itagaki. His mind was ready for the counter, but his body was not. Blam! Amai put him soundly to sleep, and the fight is over. And afterwards, Itagaki cries. It was one. I don't know. It's just everything around it. The backstory to the actual fight itself, and the pure dedication of Amai to beat Itagaki. Just the pure dedication to go for the vacant belt. It was everything, man. It was just the pure dedication. I've never seen someone so dedicated to beat one person. And even then, it seemed like Itagaki was like he could still do it. It seemed like he could still get the job done. But sadly, his body went out, and Amai took the victory. One of the most cold-blooded executed plans known to man. And one of the most tragic plans ever seen happen. Because the way this, like ever since this fight, you could argue Itagaki have not been the same. He's been in a slump. He's just been going through the motions. He still want to go after Amai, but it's just like, where's the motivation? Where is the drive to improve? Where is anything? He just meandering around. But like I already made a video about this, this fight didn't cause his slump, but it did lead to his slump. So that's why this fight is number 5. Magnificent. And we go straight into another one. Another masterclass. Another amazing fight. We have Vorg versus Mike Elliott for the WBO belt. I think it was like WBO, WBA. One of those. For that belt, the fight was fantastic. The level of IQ going back and forth. I don't believe Vork is the smartest Ippo fighter in the world, but I do believe he's one of the most hard-working, determined animals that we've ever seen today. Because Mike, even then, just the IQ in the fight itself, the tactics. You know I'm faster than you, right? So you know you have to take this opportunity. Vork take the bait. He misses. And then Mike Elliott follows up. He twists his head to negate the damage. The back and forth. And then we realize right off the bat, Vork won't be able to White Fang his way out of this one. Right off the bat, during the beginning of the fight, Mike Elliott destroys the White Fang, eviscerated. If Vork goes down, the crowd gets on it, calling him a Russian bitch. Start making fun of him. No one can believe it. The fight just started and Vork is already on his knees. But it goes any further. Just to further break down the Vorg on the first dimensional level, where it's just like the Vorg we used to see is gone. All right, that old guy who fought Ippo, he had to go. So then that's when, damn, I can't remember this guy's name. I think it's the Marquis or Vorg's coach. This is where his training comes in. Vorg unleashes a new element, and with the combination of the Flying Swallow 1 and 2 and tactics, this fight turned around. The tracer shot just blam. Mike Elliott have never seen such a vicious combination. He could not withstand it. And the IQ afterwards, they're going back and forth. The both were just like, well, damn it. I gotta catch him. Blam is a duel exchange, the back and forth. It really was a chess match. It really was a back and forth. It really was the tooth for nail. And then the referee treating to pick up Mike Elliott. You just gotta be a scumbag to the end. A scumbag to the end. Then Vorg, realizing there's no choice. This is a true fight for survival. There's no walking away from this. There's no backing down. The only thing that must happen is somebody must win. You gotta go all out. And this is where the fight with Vorg, all the previous improvements comes in. Especially with the whole thing. What is this stamina that caused Vorg the first Ippo fight? It was also the spirit, the relentless determination, the desire to win. And with this fight, Vorg revealed what type of animal he truly is, what type of wolf he is, going in with Mike Elliott, again and again, a white fang over and over, turning into a duel exchange. Mike Elliott was like, what type of animal is this? They kept going, and Mike Elliott went down. It was an amazing fight from beginning to end. Just seeing the different dimensions, seeing the checkmate, seeing the going back and forth. What more could you ask for in an Ippo fight? If this thing was ever animated, it's just the artwork, the paneling, the conversations, the entire thing around it. It's just amazing. It's magnifico. What else could I ask for? What else could I ask for? Just still love that fight to death. And then one of the best parts before I go to the next one, seeing him use. To see Vorg use the second flying swallow to break through the guard, and Mike Elliott's like, whew, I ducked that one, blam, white finger, follow up, just, easy, top 10, top 3 moments of all the Ippo. He never saw it coming. Amazing. Now we're up to the top 3 now, boys and girls. The top 3, you should already know. This fight is going to show up eventually. This is, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, the cream of the crop, the best Hajime no Ippo fight that you've ever seen, and potentially if you ever get animated, ever seen. And that is Richard Bison versus the Great Takamori. You've never seen a fight like this. This is number one, it's a unify the middleweight belts, the IBFs, the WBC. Finally, you can see Takamura unify the belts in the weight division against a challenger like no other. Fresh out of Detroit, coming to Japan, the Motor City Bison, the American shows it once again. And it's just, even right off the bat, where you just right off the bat where it starts off. And like Richard goes down with no guard, and then he winds up. We got another Hitman style flicker specialist, and then like it makes sense. It's from Detroit, you know. Tommy the Hitman here is from Detroit, but this time it is different. We have seen flickers before, but we have never seen flickers on this caliber at the time or since then of a Richard Bison. Just to wait, and it's just like Takamura, he goes like, oh, I can smack all these down. This is just light work. This is a mistake. And then see Takamura get blow back by the overwhelming power of the flicker jazz. It was amazing to witness. The Kogan was just like, you know, Takamura is gigantic for Japanese standards, but over there in America, they're a different breed. And they're used to fighting guys this size. It was, it was amazing to see it. And to see Takamura overcome it and use his own version of the flicker, because remember, like I mentioned earlier, what can Takamura can do? He can do anything. He can do anything. He can do anything. And he used his own flickers going back and forth. And then Richard Bison used a flicker counter. And then to see the backstory of Richard Bison, and seeing how he's a gold, the Golden Deagle. The Golden Deagle. The Deagle himself, David Eagle. was defeated by the great Takamura, and he stole his opportunity to go back to what he's been chasing his entire time. Takamura took out his Miyata, or his Sendo, and he would not let this damn thief get away with it. And to see him respond to the flicker counter, and Takamura do the same thing, and seeing the two push each other to the limits, it was an excellent fight. It was great. But then, sadly, like all great things, there's been a lingering issue throughout this entire fight that slowly start to build up and start to creep on. Because there are times in the fight where you forget about it, where it's just like they're going back and forth, you forget about it. But the Takamura Charlie horse, it keeps getting worse. But even while it gets worse, Takamura, he's still in there. He's still going back and forth. He's still in there. He's still fighting back. He's still putting up a good fight. Even though he's getting lit up like a Christmas tree, he's still in the fight. Until, well, the legs start to give out, and one of the most vicious feint combinations is put into question. Now, some people believe it's a detached retina. Others believe it's just good tactics. I personally believe it is a feint like no feint other. The feint out with the right with the long hook blew Takamura back time and time again. Even then, when Richard Bison tried to switch up to the flickers, Takamura would get this joke out of it. He started fighting back, but he just wasn't good enough. Richard Bison forces him into the corner. You start to feel how big and massive this man is, like an actual bison. He started laying in the combinations. Takamura is getting beaten up like a pinata, but he's alive. He's in there, man. He's in there. Everybody started to give up hope. The coach give up. He starts to pick up the towel. Aoki and Kimura jumps in. No, just don't throw in the towel, man. Don't throw in the towel. Takamura's like, will you guys shut up? Guys, I see him. My ears are bleeding. He ruptured my eardrum. Just shut up and sit back and watch. You don't gotta look at him anymore. Just look at me. Just look at me. Just follow me. I'll be your example. Don't look at him anymore. Boy, don't look at him anymore. Don't look at me like that. Come on, you can depend on me. And then a life lesson from early in the series is all on your toes, Ippo. Your toes, yeah. Embrace the bunion. With Takamura embracing the bunion, he unleashes a one-legged punch that sends Richard Bison's brains and his subconscious to the stratosphere. Not just once, not just twice, but 3 times. A Tres, and the Richard Bison, straight from America, from the Motor City, is put gently to sleep. And the great Takamura, with 4 belts, with 3 belts across his shoulder and waist, become the unified IBF, WBC, and junior middleweight WBC champion. It's one of the greatest moments in the season. This came right off the back after Sendo fought Jose Nargo, and Misha fought the infighter. He just dispatched like he was nothing. It's an amazing fight. Amazing. It has the emotions. It has the IQ and the breakdown, the tactics, how Takamura, sure you can use the flickers, but it's not the same type of flicker. It's like using a mace. It will take some things out of it compared to Richard Bison, who's packing nunchaku. It was amazing. It was, I don't know, it's one of those things. If the fight was animated, you'll be saying, yeah, people would say like this is the best fight in the series. This is this is just like this is easily some of the top anime moments, but it's not animated as in the manga. And like I've read it before, not too many people cover Ippo, and it's just, I guess it's just one of those things that just happened. It's just one of those things that happen. So, but on to another front. We're in the top 2 now, ladies and gentlemen. The top two of all of Ippo. Some of you should already know what this fight is. Some of you, of course, should know what this fight is. You haven't seen it anywhere else in the list. It can only be in one other place. I'm, of course, talking about the death battle. One of the best fights and the best panel. Like you see this is when I saw this fight, this is George at some of his best. Like you've never seen Ippo dodge and move. Like you've never seen these angles of the pen. It was I want to see it get animate. Ippo versus Alfredo Gonzalez. It's the second best fight throughout the entire series, hand down, and no one can say otherwise. The angles, the technique, I gotta get past his jab. And after all that training with the jab, the relentless training with the glove on the stick, that could never be prepared for what it truly means to be the #2 featherweight in the world. And it turns out Ippo got it. He got past the double arrow. Blam! They realized they was dancing to Alfredo Gonzalez's tune the entire time. The entire time. They was playing along to their game, and they didn't even know it. Just that, getting somebody used to it, and blam, that just... It was amazing. Ippo struggles to get up. The fight continues, and it gets to the point where it gets sad, where Ippo just getting beaten up. He's just getting beaten up like a piñata. But then we see something, a level of courage and insanity like we've never seen before. Alfredo Gonzalez goes into mixed mode. He's juiced up. He's fired up. He's finally able to unleash what he truly wants to do besides basic IQ, a true slug-out fight. And this is the only man to go blow for blow with the Dempsey roll and take no damage at all. He's an animal. And Ippo's like, damn it, I can't stop him. And the combination continues. They'll go back and forth. And Ippo is getting beaten up towards the ropes. But even then, the backstory behind this fight, you really do get the sense of weight behind how far up Alfredo Gonzalez is inside the featherweight rankings. The hype behind him, just the hype up behind his picture. On like the commentary from Miyata, how I don't know if you can beat this guy. It's everything. It's everything behind this fight. It's amazing. Or the conversation where Alfredo Gonzalez like, hey, Ricardo, if I beat this kid, if I put him to sleep, will you give me that rematch I've been asking for? You know what? Maybe. And that drive for Alfredo Gonzalez even harder to win this fight. And then, another reason why this fight is so high up, we get one of the greatest scenes of all of Ippo. Somebody said, what do you mean? A lot of people have brought up throughout the years that Ippo is a choir boy and he always listened to his coach and he never take the initiative to finish anything in his own. So in this fight, Ippo, after dropping Gonzalez, because he's been training to go back to his old body blow, and he trains, he feints it out, he turns into an uppercut. Gonzalez, he thinks he's parried, but he's still connecting. A duel exchange, Gonzalez goes down. When they go back into the corner, and Ippo tells the coach, should I end him now? It was one of the greatest scenes in all of Hajime Ippo, easily. Ippo saying, should I end it now? Like Ippo he's saying it like he got in the bag, like he could just wrap this up at any time. And even then the fight continues. Ippo gets rocked. He's off-centered. And blam, he stands back up like nothing happened. And Gonzalez like, what the fuck is this? He's not a human being. I can't let him get to Ricardo. There's a chance he can win. I gotta chop him down now. The way Alfredo Gonzalez started to panic and started to lose his mind, and the way Ippo relentlessly chased down Gonzalez and refused to give up, refused to give in, and to use courage to win. It is one of the best performances with Ippo to date. Just the courage, the refusal to give up, how he just kept going at him. It was amazing. He just rocked Alfredo Gonzalez again. But sadly, the dream was real until Alfredo Gonzalez recovered, perfectly timed the counter, and put Ippo gently into that good night. There was no need for a 10 count. The fight was over. The fight was amazing. Just to build up to the fight itself, to the aftermath, and everything that led up to afterwards, it was amazing. The fight is especially since this is the best Ippo we've ever seen. Like, we've never seen Ippo go, like fight like this, like be this much of an animal before. We've never seen Ippo do this, never. Never. Just the drive, the courage, the relentlessness, the desire to truly win. It was amazing to see. From both Alfredo and Ippo, the back and forth, the the getting both of their backstories, the inspirations, and it's just seeing these two ideals clash. Even then, before that, I forgot who Ippo fought. I think it was Waller or somebody. And Reese was like, "Really? That's all you think fight is about? Well, you're definitely gonna lose. That's not what a bot fighter should be." And like Kim was like, "No, don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about." What happened? Get put to sleep. What happened, Ippo? Whatever. Let's think. Eliminated damage anything. I think the damage just set in after Ippo lost to him. But it's one of those things where like I said before, I made an entire video about why Ippo lost. I think I put it in the description. I don't know, but there's a lot more to why Ippo like lost to to Antonio Guevara, or after the whole Fred Gonzalez fight. It's a lot of cases, a lot of this, but overall, the fight was amazing. Like Ippo does not get much better than this. It just does not. It just doesn't. Well, then again, there is number one. There is number one. And those probably already know who it is. We all know what fight it is. No one's confused about what fight is number one. Of course, it is Ippo versus Sendo 2, the Lollapalooza in Tokyo. Had to be the best fight in the series. Just, ugh. What is there not to love? What is there not to love between these two? And what this fight proves, to date, Ippo has never fought somebody that's like Sendo, because he is the only person to take two Dempsey rolls and the Dempsey roll to take two Dempsey rolls, a liver blow, a gazelle punch, and still somehow get up. Sure, he went back down, but even they took a Dempsey roll right off the bat, and he kept fighting like nothing happened. He's a machine. He's a Terminator. Arguably, he's somewhat unstoppable. But overall, what is there to say about Ippo versus Sendo 2? The plot, the fight for the Japanese championship after Ippo lost, and come back on an amazing comeback fight. And Sendo's like, "I give you an opportunity. You gonna take this deal? You know, my birthday's coming up, and this and that. But you know, yeah, I take your challenge, Sendo." And this is like the Japanese crowd, the fans, everybody lost. No one could believe it. No one. And with Sageta, some believe Sendo might even not make it to the fight. But Sageta went down. There was nobody holding him back. Mario over here collecting secrets that Sendo, they got a new training program. Look at those legs. Look at the calves. Look at the way. Look at the backs. It's just like there's so much. The back and forth slugfest. Just the going back and forth. And Ippo's desire, I refuse to just lay down and just lose the fight again. It's amazing. Even then, he's an unstoppable animal. As his ribs are breaking, he's punching Ippo into the corner relentlessly. And even then, after that, as he gets beat back, they still going back and forth. And Mari's like, "This is some of the best boxing I've ever seen in my life." After talking down on Japanese boxing, now she's a fan. Now she's a fan. And boy, I know what to say. I know what to say, man. The fight speaks for itself.
I gotta defeat this guy. He's still got a spark left. He ain't done yet.
It really does. And it's the ultimate culmination of everything in Ippo up to that point. And what some people believe, the series could have easily ended there and people would be satisfied. Maybe these days they're right, maybe they're wrong, who knows. But easily this is the best fight in the series. Easily, just easily. And to see that both coaches have given up any chances of throwing a towel, like whatever happens is going to happen, we're going to go all out. Mar's like, "I didn't think they'd take it this far. You didn't realize how personal this was. This is not just an average thing. Sendo cannot lose to another cat. He cannot lose to the Monkey. But Monkey can't back down either. This is how this fight was going to be. Only one person's walking out of here tonight, and it's damn sure going to be me." It was amazing to see it. It really was. Even then, like episode 74, one of the best combinations would have just gone back and forth. But then, even then, aside from the going back and forth, Sendo still had more in the tank. The cross-arm guard, he was not going down, and he tackled out the Dempsey roll. But then Ippo came in with the liver blow, the gazelle punch, and the Dempsey roll combination. We've all seen it. We've all seen it, and it's just, it speaks for itself. What much more can I say about it? It's the best fight. I'm sure you can argue that I could love the Gonzalez fight more, or Richard Bison versus Takamura, but it's this fight, just over time, thinking about it, go back to look at it, it's just, having Sendo saying, he's the first to take my punches like this. It's everything. And the coach Gargano's like, if you just stayed down, this would be a repeat of last time. It's time for him to go ahead for that, kid. And then the question of, what does it mean to be strong? It was amazing indeed. It was amazing indeed. So that's overall, that's this video. Those are my top 10 fights of Hajime Ippo. I doubt most would agree, but in my opinion, this is, as Macho Man says, the cream of the crop, some of the best you're ever going to get. Of emotion, of IQ, of investment, of everything. They just got it all. They just have it all. And in my opinion, well, my favorite characters and my favorite fights, it's just the blood, sweat, and tears, and it's just the relentlessness, the desire, the drive to win. It's all in these 10 fights plus more. But I enjoyed it. When he first commented this video, I was like, best 10 fights? I don't know, I might need to reread it. I don't know. And I just started writing them down, just writing down a list, and it's just, I don't know, Jose Narco could have made it. Now, why didn't he, wasn't the Umbra Missons? I don't know, because that was contending with the whole take 6th place with Sendo. Because it's just Sendo, the clenched fist, and the knuckle drop, skinning Jose Narco's head alive. Why not? I don't know. I don't know. The Gonzalez fight is better. The breaking of the hands, the forehead is a combination of things. It's not just the big moments. In my opinion, it's not just the big moments. But yeah, those are my top 10 Ippo fights. Some may agree, some others won't. I do stand behind the Brian Hawk thing. It's just, I love the fight, but overall, it was a nice back and forth. We'll talk more. Pretty much, like, the fight was pretty much over before Takamura ended up sitting down and realized he blew out his gas tank. The fight was over by that point. It's no different from Miyata versus Randy Boy Jr. The fight was over. When Miyata was 100%, he was just dominating. And sure, Brian Hawk, it was an even at the beginning, but as the fight wore on, Takamura just started to dominate more and more, and the fight was more or less over. If Takamura would have never ran out of stamina because of weight training, he just would have went in there and knocked out Brian Hawk. Sure, we would have never had the race scene, but that's the way I see it. But hey, that's my opinion. But we gotta let the video like, comment, subscribe. I don't think I'll break it up into 2, but it would be like over an hour video. So maybe I might break it up to volume 1 and 2, or maybe I just put it out how it's supposed to be, 100% full thread, just raw, untamed, uncut, top 10. Maybe it'd be the best way, I presume. Who knows? You know, but I know you guys' personal top 10 fights in the comment section down below. What is your number 1? What is your top 5, or even top 8? And somebody say, well, you love Wally so much. Why isn't the Ippo versus Wally fight a Ricardo fight? I like those fights, but it's just, I wouldn't say like they're my personal favorite, or just like, oh boy, I can't wait to reread this fight or anything. That's not them. For everything else, just like seeing the footage or just looking back on the early days of Ippo and Miyata, or the scene like how much development Mishiba got in this one fight against Shinobu, the Ralph Andersons, or the Ikigaki versus Amai, just the dedication. Vorg finally getting his just due credit with beating Mike Elliott after all this time. The Richard Bison pushing Takamura to the limits. Ippo versus Alfredo speaks for itself. And Sendo versus Ippo, East versus West of Japan. What more could you ask for? What more could you ask for? Leave me some kind of like thoughts and opinions, and like, comment, subscribe, and peace. I see you around, Billy.